Hey everyone, made this little interaction. You can see how he's asking if you like his shirt. If you click yes, he gives you a thumbs up. If you click no, he doesn't be very happy, gives you a thumbs down. And I made the animation in Rive, rive.app, where you can get Rive and you can try it out for free. You can use it to make interactive animations. I built it in a new authoring tool called Kwantic. You can go kwantic.co and sign up at that button there. And in the builder, you have lots of interactions and you can build really great e-learning. But if you want to build Bob, then join me on here. Okay, here we go. First thing, I'm going to choose this little menu here and I'm going to make a theme. I need to make a theme because if I want to be able to edit colors and other elements, I need to do it with not a system theme, so I've made my own theme here. I'm going to leave the fonts the way they are. You can change the fonts if you wish. I'm going to go click on projects, create project, and I'm going to call it thumbs up and down. Let's put anything in there. I'm just going to do standard. I'm not going to go with AI this time. I'm not going to put any documents in. I'm just going to click on next. I only want one page because it's a simple one page interaction. I can then just click on create, which takes me to the path, but I don't want that. I'm going to go into my page and I do that with a little edit button there. I am going to go to properties and change the theme of the page to my thumbs up, and that allows me to then start with a blank canvas and I can add what I want to it. I'm going to click on the section to make it active, go to its properties. I want that to be full height. That means it fills the screen of the device you are on. I'm going to go to the theme for this section. I'm going to change that background color to one I already have here. I'm just going to copy and paste that across. I'll put the hex code on the screen for you so you can see what it is. So I've got my nice blue background. Layout. I can change the layout of the section here. I'm going to go for 2 rows, and each row will have 2 columns. Update that. You think, oh, nothing's happened, but if you hover over here, you can see there's definitely stuff there. So I'm going to highlight and add an interaction to that column. Click on interactions, text, create interactions, and it's popped that in there for me. So click on edit, and I'm going to add in my text. I'm cheating a little bit here because I've already got the text ready to go. Hello, I'm Bob. Do you like my shirt? And answer Bob with the buttons below. So I can see a little bit what it looks like here, but if I click on this little magic wand here, it shows me what it'll look like actually on my screen. I'm using the 32-inch monitor, so I've got some stuff at the sides here. If you're using a laptop, you will have less space to the sides. Obviously, it's black. It's not how I want it to look, so I'm definitely going to make sure I'm in the right thing. Click on theme, so I'm in the text interaction. I'm going to change the color and the typography. So I want the typography, I'm going to go with the secondary one. Again, I'll pop this hex code on there for you. I've already done this a little bit, so I know that that's going to be 75. The line height between them is 75. Bottom spacing is fine. I'm going to put this, keep that as primary. I'm not going to need a next hex code for that. I'm just going to drag it to this white, select, and change that to 25. And that looks okay. So I'm happy with that text. I'm going to go into this column and I'm going to add my Rive interaction. So I'm going to interactions. We add Rive animations with media. So I'm going to make a media interaction in there, hover over it, edit, and I get to add my media. I can actually just drag it from my Windows Explorer, or in my case a Mac Finder, and drag and drop it, and it drops in there. Okay, and to make it work, it's kind of static right now. You can see it's not working and it's a bit small. If I go to Rive here, the thing that makes Rive animations work are called state machines. Now they can have different names, but mine is called state machine 1, capital case. So I'm going to call it state machine 1. And I'm going to go to the properties of it. I'm going to change the aspect ratio to square because I have a square animation. You can see it's much bigger now, and he is in his idle state. He's breathing and ready to be interacted with. So far so good. So I'm going to add an action button in here. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to get action there. It's very small, so I'm going to go into the theme for that interaction. So select that. Now I'm in the theme for the button. I'm going to get some more padding around the button to make it look a bit bigger around the text. I'm going to make that 12, 12, and the right and left I'm going to make it 2020. I'm going to make the background color the red, the nice pastel red. I am going to give it a border of 3, and I'm going to also make that the red, and you'll see why in just a second. So I want to make sure that it's not on the little no sign, it's on the sign, and it's all 4 parts. I'm going to make the border radius 6. I'm going to make the font size 25 to make it the same as the body text, and I'm going to make that the blue that was in the background to kind of match the colors, like so. Let's see what that looks like. Looks okay right now, but I'm going to put my button text in. Yes, I love it. So that's good, but I want that button alignment to be in the center of the column, so I'm going to bring that into there. And if we have a look at that, we can see if we hover over it, it's going to kind of white color. I don't want it to do that. I want it to be blue when I hover over it, and I want the text to turn into the red. So I'm going to click on the button to make sure I'm in there. I'm going to go to the theme, and here's where I can change hover state. So I click on element, go to hovered. I want the background color to be the blue when I hover over it. And I want the text color to be the red. Like that. Oh, I think I pasted the wrong one. Oh, there's a space there, that's why. And let's see. Yep, that looks good. I'm going to go with that. You can also do the pressed, because, but I'm actually going to make the button disappear once I pressed it. So I'm not going to fiddle with that just now, but you can if you want. So I'm happy with my button, but I need another one. In fact, before we do that, let's put some transitions on. So I click on the transition here. It gives me some transitions where I can change the duration and the delay, but the default is actually quite nice. It kind of hovers in and out. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it into there. But I don't want it to say, yes, I love it. So I'm going to go into the edit bit, and I'm going to say, nah, not really. Because you don't like your shirt. So we've got 2 buttons there. Yes, I love it. No, not really. This is a bit close to this. I don't really like that. So I'm going to come into this editing thing here. And I'm not on the button. I'm in the interaction space. And I'm just going to put maybe an extra 20 pixels there. And I pushed it down a little bit. Like that. Yeah, that looks nicer. So I'm going to go with that. So I've got my screen ready. But how do I get this button to talk to that Rive interaction? I'm going to do that with something called flows. But before I do that, I need to add some tags to this interaction so that the logic in Kwantic will know which ones to refer to. So if I go into this button and go to its properties, I'm going to add a tag. Now I've got a bunch of tags here. You won't have any tags. If you want to make a tag, you just click on that, write the name of it, and click create tag. But I've already done that. So I'm going to make, here's my yes tag. I'm going to tag that with yes, and just kind of click here, and you can see here, it's got that tag, yes. And I'm going to go into this one, and you will have to make your own one again by clicking that, and then type in the name of it, and then click create tag. But I've already got one, so I'm going to click no. So that's now tagged with a no, that's now tagged with a yes. And we're pretty much ready to go into our logic system called flows. And we can do that by going to this little back button here. And we go into there. This is flows here, this little icon below the rocket ship. I click on that, and I'm going to add a flow on action clicked. The really good thing about flows in Kwantic is that you can create a flow, and you can get it to do it for the same thing for multiple sections. So if I made another section like this with maybe a lady in there, or a kid, or a monster, and it had some things I could work with 2 buttons, then I could make it once and it would work for all of the flows, so I wouldn't have to redo all my logic. So that's really, really useful. So I'm going to create a condition. So on action clicked, if the current interaction has the tag yes, and click create there. So if it has, and I'm going to do again, you can't copy and paste these ones, unfortunately, so I'll just have to add another one. So no, and that comes from there. So if the current interaction has the tag yes, I want it to set my Rive input to being true, because remember we said before these are booleans, so true or false, and they're called yes and no. So I want it to change yes to, which is a boolean, to true. Don't worry about value or this thing here or anything like that, because it will take the interaction that's in that section. So I'm just going to click create. I'm going to, this one, create an action, set Rive input, no, boolean to true, and click on create. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh that page and let's just test that out and see what happens. So, yes, I love it. Yay, it works. Great. But because I didn't put this, change the settings of this, you get that kind of grayish color, and I don't want someone to click in this because it'll mess up with the things in the background. So I actually want these to disappear once it's happened. So I'm going to add an extra action to that flow. I want to make an interaction invisible. If I hide it, that will also work, but it will push the page further down because there's padding in that interaction. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it invisible. So I want both of those yes and no things to go. I don't want one button to stay. So if they have the tag no or yes, then go off. But I also need to do it here, because if the learner clicks the different one, then it wouldn't disappear. So yes and no, like that. And let's try that. Let's refresh the page. Let's try 1.0 this time. Nah, not really. He's sad. And the buttons have gone. So that is pretty much it. As I've said, you can use these flows multiple times, so I could add in different things. The other thing you might want to do, because it says back to path here, I'm only using one page and it's got a footer navigation here. Other things you can do with flows is on page load, get rid of the path navigation. Well, let's get rid of hide footer navigation, create that, and then also create another action to hide the path. Where is it? There we go. Hide path navigation, like that. So when I refresh that, the thing's gone here. Now I have that at the bottom there. And yep, I love it. Thumbs up. So yeah, another nice thing for accessibility is this will work with the keyboard, because I'm using interactions within Kwantic and not the Rive animation itself. You can't do that. You can have people hover over things and it'll change, like other stuff I've done. But if I tap my tab on my keyboard, I can get to highlight yes, I love it. Again, that has gone grey because I didn't change the focused settings for that, but if I change the focused elements of that would do that. And if I hit return, it does it as well. So it's keyboard accessible, which is also good should you wish to add those kind of elements to your work. And that is pretty much it. Hopefully that was useful to you, and if you've got any questions, please do let me know. But yeah, whistle stop tour through making something with Kwantic and Rive.